Hi. So yeah, I run a research lab at an engineering university, and before that, my first job was running a research lab at an engineering university in the States called MIT. So my job, as I see it, is to take many of the issues that my colleagues are living and working through and bring them into different relays of conversation. So fundamentally, what I work on is how can smart technologies, so automation, ubiquitous computing, IoT, Internet of Things, all the things that Renata touched on, data society, how can we take these things and instead of falling down the chute of reproducing the same infrastructures of power and exploitation and services and this idea of free and free for nothing when we're the battery, how can we reorganize some of this potential toward transformation? And Carolyn is, I don't know if you want to be the beacon holder, but you are, so there you go. Because it's powerful until we render it meaningless. And in my conversations with groups like Microsoft, and I was just in Barcelona for Sharing Cities, we have, not so surprisingly, these real breakdowns between Cisco, which provides 67% of the infrastructure of the entire world, and then the kiosk right next door, which is the city of Barcelona, which is run by a feminist radical mayor who uses the word feminist city seriously multiple times in a sentence. And I see part of my work as how do we continue to bridge these conversations, because I think some of the radical transformation is not continuing to have all of this incredible labor from the poorest women who are the most busy, but some contribution of, I know, sharing resources, new models for sharing data, which is data sovereignty, but also what does it mean to demand and figure out leverage around new deals with how these things are structured. So some of it might be just entropy. We have a history and a practice of certain types of organizational structures and abuses, but because there's so much fallout in terms of more and more people just not knowing how to be able to live their lives, and more of us moving into cities, and some of the challenges of the urban poor, it's a different world. I mean, so we're here to start solutioning, because I think we're fairly conversant with what some of the challenges are, and what some of the legacy challenges are, and what some of the new challenges are in terms of how new tech, whether it's algorithmic justice systems that produce, racialized sentencing, or who is getting autonomous vehicles and who still has a crappy bus system that doesn't work. And you're like, maybe we should make mass transportation work. So anyway, that's what I'm doing.
Thank you, Beth.